Started right on time.
What you going on vacation?
Mayhill.
Maybe.
One Canton.
Oh.
Kind of like grabbing the hogs.
So, like 10 times longer. No, it was good. It was good.
Me and Tammy went to club this week tonight.
Yeah,
No,
they said Michael was gonna be here.
glad we went to
Oh,
work.
give him a few minutes then.
Oh, no.
We'll count Ronnie. No. I count
When I want to go camping, I just pull outside, plug my camper in. I'm already in a forest.
We're ready to go.
Okay. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Can I have a roll call, please? If we need that. I guess we don't. We'll bypass it. That's just me saying. It's been a good day. I just thought I'd throw that in there. Okay. Could I get a motion to approve last meeting's agenda, please?
So moved.
Okay, it's carried. Okay,
Do we need a second?
No, it
so well, we need a second.
I was like, whoa.
I'll second it.
If she did, I thought she did. Oh, she approved.
I-
She seconded.
there we go,
Okay,
yes.
there we go. So I'll get it together here.
Sorry.
Jamie's all quiet down there, looking serious. Okay, so that's been done. We can just move on. Can I get a motion to consider the regular meeting minutes of last meeting? Regular meeting minutes of the last meeting. Can I have a second on that?
I'll make the motion.
I know that didn't come out.
I'll make the motion.
We know what you say.
Second.
Okay. Okay, we can move on to the non-action items for today. An update and discuss the youth center programs and schedules, please.
Sir, members of the board, Commissioner Butcher, I apologize. It's a little warm in here. We got the AC going, but it's fighting. So we did release that survey. We do have some results. I know we had some preliminary talks on some ideas of schedules, and some of our ideas actually were proven by the survey. Others were disproven. We did only have, of course, during our survey period of May 3rd to May 9th, we had 82% of all of our responses within the first 12 hours of its release, which we did post it on social media. We put a direct link to it on our website. We did also through announcements of Twitter. Actually on the 8th, called the schools and asked each one of the targeted schools to put it through their announcements as well. But we only received 44 responses. The issue with that, though, this was the breakdown on respondent age. Only 10 of our 44 respondents were 18 years or younger. We had more adult responses than anything. So what we've done is we've compiled the data. We actually had a way to only target those who are 18 years of age or younger. And so what we have is the responses of 10 of our youth who actually took the time to take our survey. So the youth responses, of course, predominantly male, responded to this. As far as where they lived, of the 10 responses we got, all of them lived within the city limits of Lovington. When we look at what school they attended, the majority, of course, were at Lovington High School. We had two responses from Taylor Middle School, one from the Freshman Academy, and none from the 6th grade academy, which we do have children that age who actually utilize the youth center, but perhaps we need to be more aggressive in marketing at that particular facility. As far as days that we asked to attend, the youth center Saturday was the most popular day, which is in line with what we were thinking with our new revised operating hours, followed by Friday. Of course, every other day received at least a 50% approval rate. As far as the time, the most popular time is 6 to 7 p.m., which I guess that leans towards more, basketball use, more of the gym use, but also some of the newer activities we'll have. When we looked at regular hours on Saturdays, of course, 80% of the respondents said yes, they would love to have it on Saturdays. The busing question that we had, 6 out of 4 said that they would utilize busing. I do not know that that would be enough to justify the expenditure by the schools, considering we got such a low response rate. The only way that I personally would consider even approaching the schools with this is if we got a better sample size, like 300 to 400 kids, that kind of size. As far as how we learned the events, we found out that, some of them offered no response. However, the most popular was social media. So social media is working. We just need to establish a broader presence on Facebook, Twitter. Also, maybe enhance the youth center portion of our website. We can actually dedicate an entire page with sub-navigation on the youth center on that website. Just find out more information on those activities. We are in the process, Anna, I should say not we, but Anna is actually in the process of doing a comprehensive overhaul to our website. It's a very time-consuming process, it really is. There's a lot behind it. So now, the activities. What we found was a lot of our pre-established activities are the most popular things, which I'm going to kind of go through what our recommendations are as far as what we should approach. But of the responses that we received, 7 of them said, yeah, we love the dances. So on the more popular things or the established programs, we just, it's our recommendation, we publicize them a lot more. We put more effort and time and effort behind them to beef up those activities. Whereas we have some very low responses where we only had like 2 people for guitar lessons. 2 people said they'd take cooking and baking. Gym hockey, which I was really disappointed, but
I think we see that one though.
I know, and that's a good point that we were actually going to touch upon here in just a few minutes. But it seems that the ideas that this group has come up with, that we're pushing forward, it is kind of in the right area, right target area that these, I guess you would say the majority or all 6 of our, at least 6 or more, agreed with. When we asked for volunteers, there was a question on there is, would you be interested in volunteering your time to teach or lead something other? We had 13 responses out of the 44 total. And the thing is, we had 13 responses. That's either a yes or a no. Okay. Of the 6 who said yes, or I'm sorry, of those who said yes, only 6 left contact information.
Oh.
So the ones that left contact information, we had 3 who would just volunteer their time. We have 1 say we would do cooking. 1 person said, I know a couple of guitar chords. 1 person who said, hey, I monitor the kids while watching movies. We have their contact information. But those, I actually haven't broken down those 6. We had a couple more. I want to say we had 5 more. Yes, 4 more who actually said yes, but they left absolutely no contact information. And there is no way for us to find that out. So, our recommendations are on the activities that we should really focus on. One, of course, dances. That seems to be a popular choice, and this is just going off this sample data, unless we want to try this survey again. But it's going to be hard to reach those kids. Basketball, of course, we're adding, adult and youth basketball times. We have TV and movie space. We actually have the ability to do 3 different things at once now, which the lounge area is finished with the painting and the installation of the equipment. It's actually pretty fun. And from what I understand, it's led to Jamie being able to recruit some extra youth help too. So
That's good.
it's apparently everybody seems to like it. Another one is the coffee juice bar. That seems very, very popular. That's one of those things that we had actually programmed in the budget. We simply are trying to find our best value on getting a dispenser because we can't totally I mean, we're gonna have to subsidize it some, but, the first approach was to get like a Keurig that you drop money in. Those are kind of hard to work with. So we actually found a machine that vends the K-cups only. So that's where your expense is from. So just getting quotes on that. Don't know how we will do the juice bar yet. To me, that just, and I know it scares Jamie because of a mess. Somebody left the cap off the blender. I don't know. But trying to find something else, something like that.
The lady that does the juices, maybe we can talk to her.
Becky.
Yes.
Okay. We have our computer lab, and I know that we're in its infancy stages of trying to find grant money to replace everything that's in there. One of the items that I did need to talk to you about today that deals with that directly is our internet connection. We are on a wireless connection, and it's very slow. The only way that we can get a beefed up connection with fiber is going through TDS. So TDS has offered us a 20 meg connection, fiber connection, with a 4 megabyte upload speed for roughly $40 a month. However, we have to enter into a 3-year agreement with them. With agreements like that, I would take this, even though we have already budgeted for paying for this, this is an agreement that would still go to the city commission for their final approval. This would happen as soon as
Just have mine put in
yeah. However, we are getting the additional channels we requested at no charge. So it would be nice if we could kind of get some type of consensus whether you think that's a good idea to enter into that 3-year commitment, because we do need the faster speeds down there, those systems, and even if we get into streaming things down there, it's going to require a beefier connection.
So what does that bandwidth get you?
It gets us 20 up, 20 down, 4 up. A lot faster than what we're
So
getting
if
right
you're looking
now.
at if 5 kids.
You would be able to stream movies
surf
with this.
the web.
Right. You would be able to stream a movie over that connection with no glitches
Okay.
or lag time.
1 kid, a movie.
Yeah, but we would actually restrict what they would be able to. I'm talking about the computer lab, being able to surf the internet. You wouldn't have any issues with, watching video, approved video clips. But like a feature-length movie, you could probably stream 1, possibly 2, with little difficulty. It's not as fast as what we're fixing to go to. I know that I want to say like a 60 meg with, I think 5 up, you can actually stream 2 movies at the same time, HD movies at the same time, wirelessly. So.
This 3-year agreement, would that mean that they're guaranteeing us the $40 a month for the
Yes.
full 3 years?
Yes, there's no price increases.
Speeds and everything, okay.
Just
long
a good
time.
a recommendation from this body would be good, but it is something that's needed down there.
That's true, that's a good
To
deal.
support with what we're wanting to do, especially if we're wanting to increase our ability for just the computer lab. So, it is warm in here.
Now, I know when I was selling Stellara, it was great at first, but then the more people got on it, the slower it got. Same thing with the HughesNet I had. Are they gonna guarantee that it's gonna stay that speed for those 3 years?
It should, because this is a fiber connection, unlike the 2 that you said it's wireless.
Wireless?
I recently switched over to TDS, and this is well after everybody, the mad rush to get on fiber, and I absolutely am thrilled to death with it.
I have it too, and I love it.
It's just phenomenal, and I can't remember I think it's a very similar connection to what this one has.
So what are we paying now?
We pay nothing because it's part of our user agreement for LECO to utilize the towers.
So it's an actual $40.
Right, this would actually, we would incur an additional expense, but we did budget for this in anticipation that we were gonna have to pay extra for the kids channels. But this was budgeted for.
And that, it's a wired network,
It is wired up to fiber.
so there would be no wireless network. I mean, I would
Well-
think that might be a draw for the kids if there was a way to wirelessly.
Right, the
Get on
connection
their
to
data.
TDS is wired, but then we actually have wireless. You can
Routers
access
that-
it
Access
wirelessly.
points.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, we actually have that right now that,
Yeah.
Jamie said we have people who pull up in the parking
They
lot.
come
Right,
pull up
right.
in the parking lot on their phones.
Which-
What do you do?
Do they not have to have a password that,
It
even a
is
simple password that Jamie can?
Open access, it's open access, and actually, we're gonna be changing so we can get a better signal across the building, getting some additional routers where you have guest access where unless you actually have a password, you're limited as far as your not only your content, but the length of time you can be on. We have that set up over at the chamber.
Because that'll definitely eat up your bandwidth.
It
also.
will.
You get, 30 kids. If we want the kids to show up there, all of them are on their phones, and they're using that as, so they don't have to use their own data plans.
So, some of the other things to consider too, of course, our lounge area, we've really, improved that. So that project, aside from looking at redoing the floor in there at a later date, that project is moving along. We still need to get some of our beanbag chairs and things like that, but it looks really cool. Tutoring is ongoing. That should never ever go away. So the next things that we really need to focus on, that in our opinion, is exercise class, which I was really happy to see that. Let's get active. So whether or not it's, I know one of the one of the respondents who failed to put their information down. They said, just some simple basketball exercises. Whether, I don't know if they're talking, they didn't specify, this just
I've
didn't.
got a lot of exercise equipment got me
Yeah.
New.
But whether it's a Zumba class or something like that, have somebody come in and do, we can explore that. Of course, volleyball, we're already looking at getting the volleyball net, so we know we're on track with that. Dance, tumbling, and cheer. We did go do the RFP for dance, tumbling, and cheer. We have one respondent for it. And we're taking that RFP to the city commission on Monday night. And the way this will work is she's actually going to be an independent contractor of the city. So basically the students would sign up, they would actually pay the city, and then we essentially it would be just a pass-through. And that's how we get around the anti-donation issue. Is she was the only respondent, but it's low cost. She's even offering a discount if siblings participate in the same program. Jamie and I have to sit down with her. Of course, the summer months are kind of tight, but we have about a 22-day period where it's going to be really tight. But we're actually going to be figuring out the best schedule that works for the city and also for her, so we can offer those classes, which did seem to fare very well during the survey. One of the other things, creative arts, of course, Mara has helped us out with reaching out to the Lee County Foundation for the Arts. Dante, forgot his last name already. Rios. Dante Rios, actually, we sat down, met with him. It was a great meeting. We don't have the lesson plans yet, but he has got I never received those.
Okay, did he forward you the supply list?
Yes, he supplied
Okay.
the supply.
I have
Or
both of
the
those.
list. Supplied the supply. Kind of redundant. We're saying the same thing. So actually, he's got a good program to where granted, a lot of people have this negative perception of graffiti art. But with this, what he was talking, it sounded like the majority of the time, it's working in the sketchbook, just teaching different techniques. They actually don't get to doing mural painting for quite some time. So it seems to have been a success down south. We want to try it down here. This can actually lead to bigger and better things, such as funding to enhance a creative arts program down there. And it actually scored, 3 out of 10. I think that's in a good direction. Plus, it's kind of already been in the works. And these people are actually offering to do this at no cost, which is good. Other than supplies, which the supplies are very nominal.
Will we supply the supplies?
Yes.
Does the city?
Unless we can get donations, guys.
And then, of course, the painting, granted it scored low, but I think kind of creative arts and paint, I don't know if kids read into that painting, such as, we're gonna paint the youth center. We're teaching a trade. It's possible, but, you know, creative arts, you know, whether it's the mural painting, whether it's sculpting, metal art or something like that, down the road.
How
But
many days a week does he plan to teach it?
We can,
It was
if we wanted to
3
let
days.
James finish up, I can give you all a little
Oh,
brief update real quick.
Yeah, he was, initially he pitched like 3 days in the
He wanted to do 4 and I was like, whoa, bro.
Yeah, and then like every other week do a
Stick-
fourth class.
let's
I
take
mean,
it
they
down.
really
That's pretty awesome.
were excited about this. Some of the things that I think are a very lower priority, of course, gym hockey. The reason I say this, and as much as I would have loved to skew the results to get this, it costs money. And we guys all know that, you know, we've got to be very selective on what we spend. We only have so much money. I still think it would be worth it to borrow the equipment so that we can plan for better times, or if we do find a grant to pay for it. But gym hockey, of course, cooking and baking, it kind of falls in the same thing because we would need to buy the like pans and utensils and all of that stuff. So, and also it didn't really, it scored just as terribly as gym hockey. And then now guitar lesson, oops, I'm sorry. Guitar lessons, I think, that would be okay because really the only thing we have to supply is space, and we have that one individual, but it didn't, not a lot of people bid. Not a lot of the respondents bid. But I know Jamie and I had kind of discussed, we think that those 4 things we should really focus our efforts on, while at the same time increasing our social media presence and advertising and just getting the word out there. As far as the new operating hours, Monday through Saturday, our last Saturday commitment is this coming Saturday. And we plan to have new operating hours starting, it's June 20th, not next, the following Monday, June 20th. We do need to make some scheduling changes, staff-wise. But we plan on launching that, and it also gives us a little bit more time to advertise the new hours. Saturday right now is just open activities until we have some additional interest in people wanting to come down, maybe teach something, and I think Saturdays would be a good time of the week to test things like a gym hockey day, or if somebody did want to come down and do a cooking class, let's see how well it's attended. It would be kind of a hodgepodge. I kind of look at it kind of like the Home Depot or Lowe's programs, where you look up and they have, you know, the kids come in and they build this stuff. Doors have been replaced. They look fabulous. They
That
work.
was my number 1.
You know, and actually before the doors got replaced, we did have a window get broken. But it was totally accidental.
Okay.
We reviewed the security tape. The only thing the kid did wrong is didn't report it to somebody, but it was completely accidental. It wasn't malicious. The kid was riding a skateboard, slipped out from underneath him, and you saw that skateboard, and I thought, yep, that's it. You saw it bounce off the So, but yeah, you know, and the kids did what kids do. They ran off because they were afraid, but the only wrong thing that kid did is he just didn't report it because it truly was an accident. Other than that,
So you think we need to run a survey of
I think we should.
more time?
The reason why, so Dante and Andrew went to the Taylor next year, you know, 7th graders. I probably have like a total of 50 kids interested in this class. And I think it had a lot to do with them being able to relate to Dante and then having that connection with them. But to everyone's mind, I also have Kim White. She's an artist from Tay, does more of your standard traditional art, that has agreed to also help out. She would like to do it like maybe once a week, so maybe Dante can do his two times a week, and then she could come in once a week. So that would, you know, kind of come out to the school board meeting, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, what is going on? And I was like, the kids like it though, sorry. But the other thing, and he did actually come up with a lesson plan, and the way he wants to do it at the beginning is kind of like a sketchbook, which is what James was talking about. And it's mostly to get the kids' creativity flowing and to let them just be comfortable in whatever they want to do. He also wants to go through and teach them different techniques in the sketchbook. until they're comfortable and he feels like they could actually do that on a wall or something. Until then, he's basically keeping them on a sketchbook, maybe a canvas every once in a while. He wants to do it 3 times a week, and we have been talking about starting June 20th, so that's perfect. And I also spoke with Gina. She's the coordinator for this summer adventures, after school adventures. And she said that the day that they have paint class is on a Monday, and so we can use Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 3:30 to whatever time we feel more comfortable with. And she said that that was perfectly fine with her. I also have Anna Brohart from the pre-K that wants to come in and help them just manage the kids. So if they go a little crazy or anything like that, she can help control them a little bit more. So I guess it kind of just, I have phone numbers for kids, I have parent contacts as well on how we want to go about doing that. And then the bus, that's the reason why I would like to do the survey again, because if we really do end up having 40 kids from Taylor, then maybe we can just have one bus from Taylor coming to the youth center, you know? Just to, because yeah, I agree, if we have 4 kids, that's not, I can't do that.
Let me ask, is there gonna be anyone there besides me and Dante to do this program? Like for us, are you gonna be there to help?
I can come in and check in every once in a while. Really, my biggest thing is I'm working in Hawk now, and they're gonna be older kids. What do you mean running the program?
Well, I just, like especially starting the 20th, we're still having summer programs, and they're having summer adventures. And then you want to bring in painting on top of that. I just don't see where we have the time.
Well, so you're not gonna be really in there with them at all,
Oh,
actually.
okay.
Yeah,
So
I don't,
have
that's
to
why I was
try.
like, what do you mean running the confused?
Yeah, no, this is a program that they are running.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, that's what I asked.
the only thing that Andrew really recommended, and I feel like it's something that we should start implementing in general, is having like a sign-in list for all kids that are coming in. They do that at the teen center when like as soon as you walk in, you sign your name, the grade and the time that you came in. So I would really like to push for something like that. That way we can also see what attendance is and where people are coming in and what programs are working. So that's really the only thing. Other than that, I mean, closing up, I guess. They're gonna be in charge of cleaning up the room. I told Dante that I wouldn't mind stepping in every once in a while to keep an eye on the kids. And like I said, Anna Brohart, who's actually a teacher,
Yeah.
has agreed to come in and help out because she wants to be taught. So I was like, well, if you help out with the kids and keeping them in line and stuff, then you can go in and learn.
Yeah, I just don't see, because we have summer programs till 12:30, and we have summer adventures. Then we're gonna have gymnastics and painting.
Well, and it's kind of like the same thing with gymnastics. Like you wouldn't be teaching the gymnastics class. All you have to do is
No,
make
but-
sure that they're taken care of, right?
Yeah, and that there's a space for them at that time that she wants in.
Well, I know whenever we first discussed the art program, we
Yeah.
do have space for them.
Yes, yeah.
So-
Well, if it's after, like in August.
Well, but Gina said that she could lend us that one classroom that they have in there. I've spoken with her, and she said that classroom where y'all do paint normally, she said that they don't need it Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
Oh, okay.
So that's where they would go. I don't,
Yeah, and that's, and just a real brief comment on that. I know talking with Jamie, the Summer Adventures program this year, she said it's just been fantastic the way that they're working with us. The problems that came up last year during it, they're non-existent now. It's actually working, the relationship is working on.
Gina's
So-
great.
So
Yeah.
what time do they get there, and are they there every
They're
day?
there at 12:30 every day, and they're there till 6 every day, and they use the whole center.
And they go from, and I know in the discussions that we had with Gina beginning, we had told her, you know, this is our goal, is to really beef up what we're doing at the youth center, and they're very agreeable to work with us as far as space usage. I know when we were talking about it, and they don't just exclusively stay there. They'll go to the swimming pool, they'll go to the library. There's different areas they do different days of the week. So, but they are there every day. But an example of how they're willing to work with us, I know that They originally had gym time scheduled at 3 o'clock on some day, yeah. One particular day, and we said, that's not gonna work because that's whenever we have our youth basketball. So all they did was flip-flop what they were doing at 3 o'clock, so they moved it to 1 o'clock. And it's more positive this year. I think we got a lot of the bugs worked out last year, but they're really working with us as far as utilizing the center, and they realize what we're trying to do, because theirs is only a 2-month program where we have a 12-month program down there, so.
And that was one of the reasons why I had spoken with Gina, was because I know you had said that she had the whole building, but she said that they do paint classes on Mondays, and then Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, they don't use that classroom at the time frame that I gave her. And I was like, and if not, I
The
can
problem
change.
we're having is getting stuff cleaned up.
I can make
after
sure that
everybody here.
Dante and the kids clean up their.
No, she's
room.
saying like before they come in, like after school adventures,
Yeah.
the summer adventures, they're having it like, she's worried, is it gonna be clean before Dante and them come in?
Well, but if they're
That's
not gonna
where
be
she's-
using the classroom, how is it gonna get dirty on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays?
From the summer programs, and then they.
Yeah, we have summer
Because everything
programs.
overlaps, that's just all she's like,
But
how are we
Yeah.
gonna get it clean if everybody's all in there, so.
I'm sorry, I'm kind of confused because if the summer programs, you have like what, an hour or two between summer class and then it's summer adventures?
No. Matter of fact, summer adventures come while we're still there, and we have to get the children out. So we use that hour to clean all the rooms for the next day. And, because we try real hard to be out of there by 12:30, but we just can't be. And, so we used in the next hour to do all the cleaning for the next day. And,
The
And that's
art program wouldn't start till 3:30, we can push it
That's-
till 4, so during that time, they're not gonna use it, so it wouldn't, like, once you clean it, you wouldn't have to come back and clean it again, it'd stay closed until Dante came in, and then Dante and them would make sure that they picked up all of their stuff, that the room was the way they left it.
okay.
Just-
Yeah, and-
We've heard that, but, I'd like to see it actually done.
Well, I mean, we have to give them a chance too, we can't just be like, oh, well, you're
Yeah,
gonna
no,
make it dirty,
and
so
really,
we
to
can't
be
go in
honest,
there.
this is nuts and bolts stuff that I really don't think that, if you don't mind, this is nuts and bolts stuff that I don't really know that we need to just beat down. We can figure this out. I know this is brand new territory. We're all stepping in. I know I have my ideas. Jamie has her ideas. I wish she had my ideas, but I think that we can figure out something. And like for example, last year summer adventures. We identified that we're going to have hiccups along the way, and I think that's one thing. We've got individuals who are wanting to come down there and teach, and I think we can or put on a program utilizing that youth center, and we can work out these quirks. We're going to have our hurdles to begin with, but I think that everybody is really committed to the mission of that youth center and just providing these activities, and we can all work together on that. So,
That's good.
my question is, if this body wants to redo this survey, how are we going to get the word out?
So that adults don't do it.
Well, that is one thing. We did have adults doing that. We can put the same mechanisms in place where we only identify the kids, but how are we going to get the word out? I mean, school is out. That's one way. It's one thing to make an announcement, but how are we going to get that word out? Because really, the first, like we said, the first 5 days of a survey is when you're going to get those responses.
Maybe we could do, I know it's a little old school, I'm a little old school, but maybe we could do flyers and put them up, and I'll put flyers up. Maybe we should put flyers up at like Bob's. Everyone goes to Bob's because that's our grocery store. Maybe we can try to put flyers everywhere, see if the chamber will put it on the marquee for us. Of course, social media, run it in the newspaper. That way every alley has been, and no one can say, well, we didn't know.
The library would be a great one
Right.
too, because I know Melinda she gets huge traction on the
And
library.
they also have a program that they do as
Yeah,
well, so it's
the summer reading program. Yeah.
letting them know, then they can flood.
You know,
Them
one
as
thing
well.
down, go to Sonic, Burger Builders, and Old
Right.
and they put a flyer in every
Exactly.
pack that goes out of
And I don't mind, if I've got some flyers, I don't mind, I will go to the businesses and tell them, this is who I am, this is what we're trying to do. Can we place this? I will take some tape and tape them myself.
Okay,
But
no,
it's
that's
just,
cool.
I think if we just get paper signs out there, as well as our social media and running it, that's a way for people to see it. Because a lot of times, as parents, I have 2 kids, a lot of times, if I'm not at the meeting or at school, I don't know what's going on with the kids. Once they hit 6th grade, they just, you know.
Yeah,
They're just
So,
open.
I guess what questions do we want to ask? Do we just want to have them pick their top 5 activities?
I think maybe we should, I like this one a lot. I like this
Mm-hmm.
one. I think maybe we should shrink it down to the ones that we were seeing out there that were things that we wanted it or that we liked.
We could still do like another column for the other
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah, like in
What's
other,
their
uh-huh.
input
Okay,
would be, and see
that's
how
fine,
that
that's
would
fine,
work.
that's fine.
Maybe put in big bold letters, leave us your contact information too.
How many kids are in summer adventures? 5
Oh, I was, in
Well,
summer adventures, they have 60.
Right.
In summer programs,
So some of them may have older.
Right, well, and I'm gonna put one at my church because that's where summer adventures focus,
Yes.
so I'll put that up too.
in summer programs, we had 54, which are 2 different programs.
That's right, so.
We had 54 this morning, and I had 22 teenage helpers, 6 employees. Head Start was there with the lunch. It all went very smooth. We're closed for the 7, 8, 9-year-olds. We still have in 4, 5, and 6, and in 9, 10. There's still room, but we're closed for the middle one. So
That's good.
You have those teenage kids, take a
That's
picture of
right.
that flyer.
That's right.
And you say,
Sure.
post this on Instagram.
Instagram, and
Exactly.
exactly, and that's
If they
just
don't mind
how,
that, then that
yes.
I
You
think,
should make them do a survey too.
I think that will get the older ones. I think the problem we're having is like the 6th grade academy and,
Because,
yeah, because they can't have a Facebook page.
exactly.
Legally, they're not supposed to have a Facebook
And
page.
mine is not
Stop
happening,
it,
So-
so.
but that's why I thought maybe if we do like flyers and maybe, I think the kids would see it. I see the 6th graders, 7th graders now out everywhere around town. They're everywhere. It's summer, so I see them always walking on bikes. So I think if we get some flyers up, they will see that. Some of their friends have Instagram and they're gonna tell them, they're gonna call them. All of them have phones. They probably have Facebook and their parents just don't know where they're looking on. Because they all have phones.
anytime that you've got a captive audience,
That's right.
if you can set them down. and
That's
say,
right.
Do this now if you don't mind.
That's right.
And it might.
So what if we started the survey on Monday, because
Sounds good.
that would give us time to actually produce a flyer,
That sounds good.
start getting them out. I'm thinking, like, do we want to do full sheet? Do we want to do a half sheet?
I'd say a couple full sheet maybe for businesses, just so it's longer, but if you want to conserve paper, half sheet is fine.
Half sheet for handouts. Okay.
Half sheet is fine.
Well, yeah, we can have those ready by Monday
Okay.
to do that. And now, how long do you want the survey to run? Till Friday
A week,
or till the following Monday?
I would do,
Oh, yeah, to the
I'd
following
do to the
Monday.
following Monday, give the weekend hopefully a little more would trickle in, but we saw the results and they come in pretty quick.
Well, now without, like if they, do the grocery shopping on
Right,
Sunday.
exactly. Oh, I need to do this, so, exactly.
Just
I
in
just,
case.
I really
Who
hope that
doesn't
we get a
read?
better
Who doesn't
response.
read the whole wall?
I-
Going into Bob's.
I do, I do.
And we could actually
Somebody
put-
to mow, you know, there's somebody there to mow.
You know, like y'all said, the library and Bob's, we can even put some at the pool, because kids wear that pool now.
That's exactly what I was gonna do, think of.
So I guess just focus on not necessarily like the hours and the days of the week, but the activities offered, the functions, and then if you want to volunteer, if you want to volunteer,
And
need
the bus
contact.
one again.
Okay,
I think just,
okay. That's
'cause I
fine
feel
with
like
me.
the more people I can say we're gonna ride the bus, the easier it is for me to sell.
Try it one more time. Monday the 13th, right? We'll start it, or put it back out. Here's the 6th. I think. I didn't know, I'm just guessing. I said, yeah, it's
Okay.
13th meeting.
Well, we can have that together. So I guess, the two questions that I have, because I need direction from, is the TDS agreement.
I think we need to bring it forth and to the commission and let's roll with it. That's a great
I
idea.
think so too.
That's something we don't need
3
to
years
pass
is
up.
scary, but
It is
we
scary,
need fast
but,
internet.
and we're
Because I
just,
might want to
It's
get on
always
the
gonna be
internet.
Yeah.
And there is room for early termination. And I know that if we ever chose to do that, it'd be something that we could work out.
Okay.
So, actually, that was the only question that I had.
So my next question is, should I start reaching out to these parents? 'Cause that's the cell phone numbers I have, are parent numbers. And telling them that their kid showed interest in it. We're looking to start June 20th, if they're still interested, and
I think what we need to do is we need to sit down and figure out a different schedule. And if we can meet with you, I don't know if Dante needs to be there.
he's out this week.
Okay, or, yeah, this week's horrible as well, but, because we don't even have the supplies yet, but,
Okay.
I guess sit down either late this week or next week, early next week.
Do you want me to do Monday next week?
Let's see where he's available.
Okay, let me ask.
But I think we all need to sit down with them to figure out these are the days, this is the space, this is your responsibility, this is our responsibility, before we start, hey, we're gonna have it, so that way it's a little bit more organized.
Oh, I just wanted to see if they're still interested.
Yeah,
'Cause-
I imagine that they are, I
I would
imagine
think
that
they
they
would
would
be.
be,
That's a good.
but, you know, even if we only have 10 kids at first, that's
Right.
great.
Mhm.
But I think that we just need to get that nut and bolt stuff figured out
Okay,
real quick. I mean, I'm thinking we could probably have it figured out in an hour or less.
okay.
If we have to, we can do it over a conference call, because Jamie gave them a tour of the facility the last time, and if they can't make it up here, we can just,
When I think Andrew's gonna pull back a little bit more, because he wants us to be able to make it fit to our community instead of just saying,
right,
this is what we did.
okay.
Um,
But yeah, just figure out a time, and if Dante can't make it over here for a meeting, we can do it
We'll
over
have
the
to have
phone.
some kind of schedule before you
Yes,
even
exactly.
ask anybody to volunteer.
he wants like a ton of days, and I was like, no,
That's good that he's-
Right.
let's start off small and then go big, because,
Well, and even
you
if
know,
he starts out with sketchbook stuff, he doesn't necessarily have to use the art room. I mean, it may just be using a couple of tables and chairs set up outside on the patio or something. Who knows, the weather's nice, I mean, we've got plenty of space out there, he may,
20th?
you know, it may be one of those until they actually get into the painting where they need to be in that type of environment, but I know we have the space and stuff, and I think, you know, starting out with, and that's the other thing too, is starting out, you know, going back on that conversation, we're not getting into the messy stuff. It's gonna be teaching technique, it's gonna be a lot of pencil, paper, stuff, to where it's not gonna be making a mess, so that's easy, which kind of coincides with, you know, the madness that is summer programs.
Yes.
Will be over with,
Oh, that's
and that way this will fulfill a need that we have during that lag time during the
And that's
fall.
not just open to youth, the drawing or sketching or what.
So what we're doing right now is we're opening it up from 6th grade up, trying to get more of the older kids in there. But it honestly looks like it's gonna be my 7th and 8th grade kids. That's who I've had the most pull from.
So if a big kid like me decided to.
If you
know-
wanna help volunteer like Anna wants to, because that's what she told me. She's like, can I help? And I was like, well, the only way you can sit in there and learn how to do techniques and stuff is if you watch over the kids and make sure that they don't go crazy. And she's like, oh, I can do that. And I was like, then yes, you can come and learn.
And not to take away from the youth center, but the library actually offers adult art
Yes.
classes.
Because I take.
Forgot.
I painted some awesome
That's
birds.
right, we painted some birds, we did.
Dude, I painted
I
some
need to look
birds.
at.
We did some birds,
Yeah,
we did.
What days?
You know,
do
I've
they
had it
open?
on eBay for a year now and haven't had a single yet. I am not artsy.
There is something I'd like to say before we go, that we started, in the summer, we started opening the gym just to 13 through 16-year-olds, and it has been packed every day. I don't know if it's because they're not doing anything at school, but it's been awesome. So, we'd like your prayers to extend our air conditioners, because boy, it gets hot down there. But we've had between 35 and 45 every day.
And what time?
That come at 3 with their balls, and I have summer program, helpers stay later so they can play, I mean, it's just, and they argue, and and then I walk down there and they go, oh, we're okay. And I walk back, just to get them set, so it's been pretty awesome.
Our coaches have been doing their summer conditioning program, they work until 9 in the morning.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we've had anywhere from 110 to 140
Yeah.
kids.
That's good.
That's
That's good.
Every day.
Yes, and I
telling
did 2
someone
or
about
3
that
of them,
today.
and I hope they brought shirts.
Yes.
Because we all working with the little kids, and they don't care, they'll just say, what smell? And I'm like, oh.
So it's
Yeah,
Summer conditioning and they spell it.
Yeah. It's been awesome, awesome.
Well, if there's
Got a
nothing else,
question.
Lonna's got something here.
Because I know budgeting, do we have it in the budget still to let the youth council have their t-shirts this year? Okay.
Oh, yeah, basically what the youth center, their budget is the same as it is this year.
Okay.
So I'm talking about the new budget
The new budget.
that starts July 1. So yes, their budget, I think, it may be a little bit more, some of the utility costs and stuff, but no, we did not change any of that. We still basically have the same expenditures that we budgeted for this current year. So
All the youth council that shows up for each session getting them.
that is totally up to Jamie.
Well, I was waiting till July, to give the kids that come to both sessions, because in the past when we've needed them is when we go on trips, and our first trip will be at the end of July when we go to the movies and everybody changes their shirt in the car, but they all start off with youth center shirts and stuff, so that's why I haven't contacted you guys yet.
Well, I wasn't asking about that, I was asking, is each set of kids, because you got 2 sessions, so if they show up to this session, they get a t-shirt, if they show up to the next session, they get a t-shirt.
Yeah, but we're not gonna order the t-shirts till July.
Well, no, I'm just asking,
Yeah.
is that the way you do
Yeah,
it?
yeah, that's what we're gonna do. That's it.
Well, anybody else have anything else? Ronnie's gave the public comment.
Fresh.
Oh, press.
Right.
Well, I think if there's no further comments or anything, this meeting is adjourned. Next meeting is scheduled for,
Yeah, we're gonna have to work on that.
Anna's been really good
Next meeting is
about it.
July 4th, and I will not be here for that.
I definitely.
When else should be?
Everybody else needs to be out there.
I would be.
So,
Are you gonna be in your swimsuit?
yeah. Actually, we will have our grand opening of the splash pad that day at 4. It'll be right after the lizard race, so it'll be about 4 o'clock, and we're gonna be doing Coke or root beer floats for everybody.
That's
Are
awesome.
you gonna move it to the 11th?
That's a city commission.
That's a
meeting.
city commission meeting, that's a
Just
little,
let us know.
We'll move it.
yeah,
Our
well,
calendar's beautiful.
no, yeah, we will figure out something. I would prefer to keep it sometime that first week because it doesn't conflict with any other meetings, but,
Like the
we'll-
6th maybe? It's a Wednesday.
yeah, it's just
Yeah.
trying to figure out some staff